So how was it completing the ancient wounds?
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little emotional for me.
So in here it talks about maybe, some of the positive traits of your care providers. What did you find? Was that easy for you to do and pull out the positive traits?
Honestly, pulling out the positive ones were a little bit harder than pulling out the negative, and that was eye-opening for me.
And why do you think that was?
Um, I think that I just have more bad memories than I do good ones. You know.
And is this with both of your
Well,
caretakers, mom and dad?
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I have my mom and I have my stepdad, and then I had a real father who wasn't around. So it all kind of blended together. Just the whole rejection part of that.
And were you surprised by some of the positive traits that you were able to pull out, or you
No.
felt like it was pretty easy once you really thought about it?
Yeah, I was surprised that I could pull out fewer positive traits about my stepdad, because now, as an adult, I have way more positive feelings towards him than I do my mom. But when I tried to pull that information out, I found more positive with her and more negative with him, and it's kind of switched around a little bit. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
And so, how were your childhood experiences in relation to that? I mean, it sounds like you said you didn't have a whole lot of good experiences, but those times that you did have maybe some good experiences, what was that like?
My parents did a lot of things that were fun,
Mhm.
and I remembered that. Unfortunately, when the memories of all of those fun times came up, I remembered that they always ended in yelling and fighting, and we never really went and did anything fun, and it just stayed that way. It always came to some kind of crashing halt. And so that, I think that probably made pulling out the good memories a little bit harder, because they didn't stay good.
It was
If that
starting
makes
good.
sense. Yeah, it's like I'd pull out a good one and then I'm like, oh wait, but that ended this way.
Yeah.
So that was a little difficult.
Yeah. And in those good times, when they started off good, how did that make you feel?
Good.
Good.
I mean, I felt like during the good memories, I felt like my parents were involved with myself and my brother. Because I remember a lot of times just feeling like that it was kind of two separate worlds, parents and kids. And so on those, it felt good, and I remember feeling good and feeling involved and welcomed by my parents. Yeah, included, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, a part of this was also talking about some of the frustrations. How was that?
Writing them down was, it was difficult, because I have them and I have the feelings and I have the words in my head all the time. But having to actually validate them by writing them down, that was, it was a little tough.
Yeah. Did you feel like a sense of relief, maybe writing them down, getting them from up here and onto paper?
Yes, and actually putting them out there, yes, because it's been a long time since I allowed any kind of outlet. As I said in the paper, a lot of my way of dealing is to hide from things, or shut myself off. So, yeah, having to actually put it down and knowing someone's gonna read what I just said.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was, but it was good.
Okay.
It felt good.
Like a weight lifted type
A little
of
bit.
thing.
Yeah.
And so, how did you, when you come against these frustrations, it talks about in here your feelings, and then what was your reaction when you came against those frustrations? How did you react?
I felt sad. And I didn't feel sad for current Jenney. I felt sad for little Jenney.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. I felt sad for that little girl. And so that was probably the toughest emotion to deal with. Yeah.
And do you recall little Jenney and how little Jenney would react when she was frustrated or feeling,
Yeah.
going through those negative emotions and experiences?
Yeah, she would go off and hide in her room and be angry and kind of, I remembered this feeling of like just not being able to breathe. And I had forgot about that over the years. So I think that it was more of a stuffing things down, and then that made me think about it. And I'm like, I still do that. I've been doing that. It's a cycle that, as much as I've forgiven, and tried to hash out things, there's some cycles that haven't been broken for me, and, you know, that's pretty eye-opening.
I can imagine how that would be, just, kind of reliving